Hey guys, it's Ryan again. I'm going to run Yawgmoth through a second league. I'm going to use the same list as we did before. I'll pull it up here. But I kind of talk about it in my last video. So if you want to hear some of my reasoning behind my options, you can check out the beginning of my Yawgmoth League #1 video. But anyways, here's the list, so you can take a look at it before I begin. And I heard my cue go off. Alright, on the draw, this is round 1. Let's see what happens. Alright, this hand looks fine. I like this. This wolf could have been a Strangleroot Geist, so we can evo into Yawgmoth, but I like this hand. It's fine. It's not the greatest hand, but it's definitely keepable. Especially game 1 in the blind, opponent mulled 2 6 cards. Scalding Tarn. Looks like this could be so many different things. I'm not even gonna say anything. Turn 1 Scalding Tarn in this format right now. Could be either the Cascade decks, it could be Murktide, it could be Shadow. Murktide, bolt my guy. Yeah. Okay. So, a lot of times that's why I lead on Bird, because I'm assuming the first one's gonna die, and then Hierarch is better to have in play. You know, I'm not sure how correct that theory is. Okay, turn 2 Shredder, that's not the greatest for us. Let's see, we're probably just playing the wall, and then our wolf, I think? We're definitely playing the wall. I'm not a huge fan of just playing another dork, because it can get killed by another burn spell. The wolf gives us something to evo the next turn, probably a Grist if possible. You know, we're probably just going to be counter-checked for the rest of the game. I still think getting a wolf in a play is the best bet. I haven't played too much against these Murktide Shredder lists. I'm pretty sure you just have to play into it, right? You can't just sit there casting 1 spell a turn. So, bummer we're letting him loot, but what can you do? I'm not gonna cast 1 spell a turn. Okay, discarded a burn spell. Probably, I mean, he saw that, you know, his burn spells aren't gonna line up too well against what I have on the board, so he didn't need that. Maybe he has a 3rd one in his hand. Maybe he has a lightning bolt in his hands. Now this is where the Murktide matchup gets difficult, because they get their threat. They were on the play. They get their threat. They can connive with Shredder with these cheap cantrips while still leaving up counterspell. So this looks like an uphill battle for us game 1. I also don't have like a Strangleroot Geist to, you know, kind of at least put some pressure. I just have this 1/1 wolf. So yeah, he is down to 2 cards. I guess 1 card off the bauble. He also, he main phased that, so he did not connive. Interesting. Okay, again, a wolf's not the greatest. Now, this is where evolution is kind of rough, because if we jam it into a counter spell, it's just going to get countered, and then we lose whatever we sacrifice, even if it's half of a wolf. I am going to play the Ignoble, attack with my wolf, I think play out the rest of my hands. Let's see, is there a way we don't play out my hand so he doesn't connive? So he didn't connive on his own turn, so maybe he's low on cantrips. Maybe I'll just play the Peatland pass and draw card, so I don't connive. Getting another wolf or a bird is not like super great. I mean, I'm doing the same amount of damage with a 2nd wolf because of Exalted. Another bird is not that big of a deal. I'm not really like ramping into anything, and I have my mana in play. So yeah, I'm actually not going to do anything. Instead, maybe I'll just draw with the Peatlands. We'll see how that goes. assuming he drew that because he would have cast 2 baubles last turn to connive. Lightning bolts, kill my hierarch. You know, there was an argument to not even play the hierarch because I'm exposing a boltable creature, allowing him to main phase surveil, or sorry, whatever, connive. So yeah, there was an argument to even just not playing that hierarch. Also, the fact that he discarded a heat tells me that he probably has a 3rd burn spell. But again, like, in these 1-mana removal spells, like, our guys are gonna die. Like, you can't really do anything about it, so that's why we play so many of them. Also, if we continue to really not draw any other gas spells, we're just gonna have to jam this into a counter spell regardless, so, you know, I'm like 99% sure he has one. The opponent has one. Now let's see, if I draw, we'll still have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana with a land, so I'm gonna draw. Kinda not doing it. Okay, so we hit Urborg, sure. Use 3 cards in hand. I mean, like, attacking for 1 is not doing much. I'm gonna cast the, let me think. Am I casting the Evo into a counter spell? This is always like the classic, you know, they have a counterspell. Do you use your cards now to get the counterspell out of their hand, so when you hopefully draw gas the next turn it resolves, or do you just like keep waiting? Not 100% sure. I think I kind of need to jam. My clocks are not the greatest. With this 1/1, I'm not erasing this thing. Also, he doesn't have, like, mana to play another spell and connive, even if he, counterspells, so let me think a second. I guess stacking the Evo makes my wolf a little bigger, so maybe that's, like, I want to be doing that. I don't know. This just doesn't work, but can't really do much about it. If this does, no, yeah, it's not resolving. If it did resolve, I was gonna get Grist there. Now, do we play a 1-drop to let him connive? I don't think so. Again, adding this to the board doesn't really do much. Like, we're just waiting for gas spells. When I say gas spells, I'm usually referring to a Tutor, a Grist, or a Yawgmoth. In this matchup, Ooze could be considered a gas spell. That's not the worst draw. Play that out. Get a little bit more pressure. I mean, you know, we're kind of racing here. I mean, I know he has 3 cards in hand, but okay. You know, I've talked to some local players, and I've heard that they are playing Snare in this. This signifies no channeler. To me, because when they're just on the 12, sometimes even 11 threats with no channeler, they have a couple extra spots, and I've talked to some local pilots saying that they've been playing Spell Snare, so that's interesting. Okay, we're gonna let that get countered. I'm gonna attack right here, and then I'm gonna decide if I want to connive. I think I actually don't want to connive again. For the same reasons I've not been casting these cards. They don't really add anything to my board. I mean, this does add a point of damage. So maybe next turn, if I don't draw anything, I'll add the Young Wolf. Oh, so bummer. He has a cantrip to loot. Discarding Unholy Heat. Alright. Again, I don't think he has another removal spell after discarding 2 removal spells, using a couple, and then my board is just kind of removal spell proof, or he just doesn't care about killing it. So I'm probably putting him on more counter spells, which obviously is not the greatest. So these newer Murktide lists with just Shredder, no Chandler, play a bit slower. They kind of just sit back on their Shredders and their counter spells. It's very interesting. I don't know if it's better or worse for us as the Yawgmoth player. The good thing is that they don't have their 1-mana Delver type creature in Chandler to put their quick flying clock on us. But then with this, they're more incentivized to just sit back and play it slow. So again, I'm not sure. I've played against
these newer versions a couple times with, you know, pretty 50-50 success rates, so we'll see. Okay, so we drew a gas spell. I think I want to cast this as my first spell so he doesn't get another look at a counter spell. I mean, I'm putting him on a counter spell. He has 3 cards in hand and has only played 1 actual counter spell. Their deck usually has, what, 4 counter spell, 2 to 3 to even 4 charms, and then some main deck spell pierces. I can play around pierce, that's nice. So I'm going to attack first. I think because I want this to be my first spell, let's see, do I want Yawg or Grist? It might be a bit late for Yawg, so maybe this has to be Grist here. So again, unfortunately I have to sack 2 creatures, but if I go 1, 2, 3, sack this to get Grist, sack this to kill it, I can play out my other 1-drops, because hypothetically the Shredder should be dead. Realistically this is just going to get countered, but we'll see. Yeah, we're getting Grist. Yeah, Yawg, we're a bit late for Yawg. Our life total is too low, and we don't have enough stuff to sacrifice. Also, Shredder is pretty good at playing around Yawg because it has so much toughness. And then it's also, like, weird. You can't really proliferate on the Shredder until it gets to the minus counters, which usually takes a while. So yeah, this got countered. We're dead here. Next turn we can play a flying blocker if we're not dead here. I could have played it last turn, but it puts him up to 5, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. We're pretty dead. It's Big Daddy. Yeah. Alright, we'll skip it up. Okay. So, this is the matchup a lot of people have been talking about, this kind of newer version of Murktide with no Channeler. Again, I'm kind of assuming he's not on Channeler. Not 100% sure, so this is what's coming in. This Abrupt Decay is kind of a pseudo artifact hate, pseudo good against Murktide. Kills Hearse and Ledger Shredder, uncounterable. Veil of Summer, obviously, the going up to the 4 endurances. You know, even if they don't have Channeler, these endurances are still good. It turns off Unholy Heat. It slows down their Murktides, and the best way I've found to win is to just cast these using Flash when they can't counter it, to just keep their graveyard in check. And, you know, once their graveyard's in check, they can't cast Murktide, they can't cast 6 damage on Holy Heat. We're usually in a pretty good spot if those 2 things are not coming down on the board. Now, Thoughtseize is very debatable. A lot of people like it, a lot of people don't. I'm going to see what we're cutting to see how many Thoughtseizes we fit in. I don't think it would be 3. I think if I do have the room, it would be 2 Thoughtseizes. Let's see what we're cutting. So, against Murk, I cut all the Evos. Let's see here. I will usually cut the Messenger. I mean, this has been good sometimes in a racing situation. I think I can cut a Dork. A lot of people in this matchup, when they cut the Dork, they like cutting Ignoble over Bird because Bird is a flying blocker. And, you know, I totally agree, or, you know, I totally understand that. I also think there's the argument that the Ignoble, what's it called, facilitates your faster Strangleroot Geist beatdown plans. I guess with Shredder, our beatdown plan's not as good, so we'll do this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 5 cards. There's 5 cards right there for these 5, and then now we need a cut for Thoughtseizes. Let's see. I'll usually cut a Wolf because they usually board out Ragavan. Sometimes they don't. So that's the first Thoughtseize. I think the second Thoughtseize, like I said, I think I want 2. It could be Chord of Calling, since they play that soft permission and Spell Pierce. Not 100% sure if they're leaving it in. I'm gonna put this endurance over here. It could be another Dork. It could be a Wall. I think it's actually a Dork. Alright, do I want... I think it's Chord or Dork. I have 11 seconds. Oh, I'll cut a Dork.
Alright, this hand's fine. It's actually pretty good. Yeah. Keep this. They kill my first dork. I can go turn 2, second dork, Thoughtseize. Also, it's weird. Thoughtseize in this deck, you don't always just want to like fire off the Thoughtseize. A lot of times you're using your Thoughtseize as a worse Veil of Summer, where you use it the turn you're jamming into counterspell mana. So just, you know, we're not a Jund deck or a Grixis Shadow deck where we're trying to Thoughtseize away their cards. A lot of times we are using Thoughtseize as a pseudo Veil of Summer to just jam our, force our high impact cards through their counter magic. So, you know, I might not even Thoughtseize on turn 2. I mean, I should be able to get a turn 2 Grist down, which obviously is very good in this matchup. Let's hope he doesn't kill my bird. 2 baubles, so he's looking at the is he looking at his deck? Yeah, he's looking at his deck. Okay, so they kill my guy, they bobble twice. Okay, let me think if I want to Thoughtseize here. I also could just Thoughtseize in terms of mana efficiency. Okay, I did draw a land. Okay, I think I will Thoughtseize. I'm using my mana. If they're only on like 1 counter spell, I can take it. Also, if I use Thoughtseize as the way I explained earlier, I have to wait till turn 4 to play the Grist. Or sorry, I just have to wait for 4 mana. So I think I will play the Thoughtseize here. So with Twilight Mire, we got a float. Cast Thoughtseize. Let's see. Charm, Expressive Bolt, Subtlety. Interesting. So Subtlety can hit Grist. However, like, if they're gonna 2-for-1 me to put the Grist on top of my deck, I think I'm fine with that. Expressive is clearly their strongest card. And then Charm is a counterspell / draw 2. Let's see here. This is tough. So I'm getting a bird into play this turn. First, so I'm pretty sure it's not Subtlety. Is there any way it's Lightning Bolt to protect this Ignoble? I don't think so, because I can just play the Grist next turn regardless, even if my Noble dies. I mean, yeah, they don't have Delirium, so Unholy Heat off the top won't kill. Oh no, they can get Delirium pretty easily. I think this is Expressive. Just take the best card. I'm thinking about taking, if there's a reason to take the Subtlety, so I can just 100% jam the Grist, and then they can't really do anything about the Grist in play. I mean, they can get Delirium, and then Unholy Heat it. I'm going to take Expressive. I think it's their best card. I'm pretty darn sure we're fine if he Subtleties my Grist. You know, obviously pitching. He won't have the Archmage's Charm up next turn. I mean, sure, he can draw a counterspell there. So he played the Tarn, played the Bolts, and now I just jam my Grist, right? Can't be Spell Pierced. We're good. I have a Yavimaya, so I will get a Swamp to make this a Bayou. Where's my Swamp? Did it get... Oh, it's a Windswept Heath, I can't get Swamp. Okay, then I'll just get Forest, it's fine. Okay, so Grist is definitely one of our better cards in this matchup. You could even say it's better than Yawg sometimes. The fact that it kills their high toughness creatures, and it doesn't require us to use life to gain resources. So Grist very good, also very good with this Chord sitting in my hand, as it you know, pumps up our Chord to make that Chord bigger. Now from his side, it looks like, from the opponent's side, it looks like it's just going to be Archmage's Charm pass. I mean, he's not going to like main phase cast it. I mean, if he draws a creature, he may play it, but he might just sit on this Charm. Yeah, okay, so he still has Odawara. He played a new card. So this is, he has these 3 +1. And you know, now, So it's like, do we jam into Charm to make him 1-for-1, or do we just let him draw 2? I think we usually just let him draw 2, actually. Like, drawing 2 random cards in their deck versus countering our Yawg. We can also, like, end step Chord, try to bait something out, main phase Yawg on the following turn. So I'm just gonna make a dude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be Chord for 3. I'm trying to think if I can attack with this insect or not. If a Chord for 2 or a Chord for 3 is the same. I think this could even just be Chord for 2, get a Scavenging Ooze, which in that case, I'm not going to attack to leave 1 green up to eat something. So yeah, I'm not going to attack. The 1 point is not super relevant, and this gives me more options for my Chord of Calling, depending on what he does. But again, I'm like pretty much banking on this Chord getting countered, because I'm going to do it on his end step, or I could even do it on his upkeep. If he taps out for the Charm, I'll have to rethink about if I want a Chord right now. Let's see, can I shut off Delirium with a Scavenging Ooze? I can. So if he goes Charm, hits an Unholy Heat, he can one-shot my Grist. I could, in response, get Ooze to stop Delirium, but then I have to fight through other potential counter spells. Let's see here. I'm trying to think if I want a Chord right now, if getting the Ooze on the table is relevant, or if I'm even getting Ooze at all. I could get just Strangleroot Geist too, right? What other 3 drops? I boarded him out, Messenger, so yeah, I think oh, Endurance, I'm stupid, guys. Oh my gosh. 4, 5, 6. It's early. It's didn't get much sleep, so yes, this is clearly Endurance. So, you know, Endurance shuts off their whole yard. Oh, once again, it's early in the morning. I'm supposed to wait for the Charm to resolve to also exile that. So that was a punt, but I guess instants, they're most common type anyways, so, you know, big whoop. Okay, so I'm protecting my stuff from Unholy Heat is just kind of the name of the game. Now, he has no pressure on me. He can hard cast the Subtlety, which is fine. He still hasn't played the Otawara, so he can use that to bounce a lot of my stuff. So I'm just going to keep making tokens with Grist and attack. I'm not going to play into this hard cast Subtlety, because the 3/3 flyer is actually relevant. Let's see, I'm going to attack here. There's no risk of him Unholy Heating my Grist, so I can do that post-combat, I guess. And then, yeah, we're just going to sit here. Do I play this wall? Yeah, I'll play the wall. It still lets me draw with the Peatland, and, you know, he's not going to counter a wall. So I might as well get it in play. You know, pay 3 mana, put my Luris to hand. Okay, so he does Subtlety this. He just wants to get the flying. Excuse me, he just wants to get the creature in play. That's fine. I'm putting this wall on the bottom. I don't really care for it. Okay. I mean, yeah, he gets to attack Grist. That's fine, but, you know, it's made 3 tokens. It'll be left at 3 loyalty. If he has a bowl for it, that's fine also. I have a lot of board presence. So he used the Charm. He used the Subtlety. Okay, Shredder. He has Otawara, but can't use it right now. Okay. Alright, we are under pressure from these Shredders. Let's see what my draw is. Again, Shredder's pretty good against Yawgmoth because of the toughness. Because of so much toughness. My Grist will go to 1. I can get a minus activation out of it. Let's see what we draw. But we're also at a high life total, so Yawg can draw us a bunch of cards. Okay, Bird doesn't really do much. Let me think here. Yeah, I'm playing the Yawgmoth. Not sure if I want to like start shrinking stuff. I'm also not sure what to do with Grist.
I think the plan or the play is use Grist, kill the bigger shredder, leave. I need to play a bit faster. That is definitely not what I thought I was going to be doing that turn, but given the fact that I drew the land with a bird, is fine. Maybe that was bad to trigger these shredders. So I'm going to leave these back to block. He has to, like, try to attack through an endurance and my Yawgmoth activations, so I think that's good. I gotta cast another Grist, or sorry, another endurance. I'll feel a bit safer next turn when I have the second endurance hopefully in play. He still has Otawara. Endurance is obviously a good blocker here. Okay, so he's drawing. Seems like he's petering out. Okay. So as good as Expressive is, it does use their mana to limit the things they can do the turn, or after it. So he's gonna be able to connive this maybe Murktide here. Okay, Murktide's fine. Like, he can't attack through this, and then I just get a minus Grist on the Murk. The shredders are getting bigger, but I mean, I can shrink them with Yawg and block with Endurance, so I don't think he can attack here. If he does, I have a bird to chump block to help save my Grist. So yeah, okay, I think we're fine. Also, getting the second Endurance into play is going to be good. Right? There's no way he can attack. Yeah. Tap. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna play Endurance right now. Get all this out of his yard. Oh, once again, I think I'm supposed to kill it first. My bad. Start like putting stuff on his creatures and proliferating. Is relevant to know I would want to respond to the Ledger Shredder because this is still a minus counter. Okay, so he's petty thefting Yawgmoth. Let's see here. What am I gonna do? I think I can start doing some of these. Definitely don't proliferate onto the plus counter shredder. Just kill this off. This blocks that.
Again, he's just bouncing it, he's not killing the Yawg. Okay. I do kind of want to save the Grist so I can +1 and then use this one to sack the insect, but that also could just be the same as sacking the bird if I don't chump block with the bird, so maybe I just let the Grist die then. Also, maybe I put a counter on the big shredder so I can at least block with the endurance through his connive, making it a 3/5. Okay, so you get rid of the Odawara.
What's wrong? It's Toby.
I mean, he's just attacking with the big one, I think. And he's representing counterspell now for my Yawgmoth that he bounced, but I also have a Grist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I want to save the bird because if I draw a land, I can double spell both of these into his one counterspell. No, that's tough. That's tough. That's tough. Do I block here? Do I block? Do I block? Do I block? Is there any way I double block with 2 endurances? Okay, that's actually a thing. He doesn't have delirium, so he can't kill. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm not sure how good that is. 3, 6. This could be bad. Whatever, I'll try it. Okay, so that's good. They tap out a counter spell, so we get to resolve the Yawg or the second Grist. I don't think we need the second Grist yet, because this one's still at 3. He does hit a land, representing a 1-drop. Let's see here. Okay, that's actually, like, fine, because it just helps us gain life. Let's see here. I think the endurance is just stopping these. I think I just get Yawg into play. Messed up on my mana tapping. He's responding, that's interesting. Maybe response kill the endurance, or maybe he has a spell snare. Okay, spell snare, that's fine. I could care less. I did mess up tapping here, so I have to get a swamp, which is fine. Yeah, can I have, sure. There's nothing I can really draw main phase that I care about, right? I play the lands. Yeah, we'll pass. Oh, killing the Shredder. I think he just nuke his board right now. I think I just nuke his board. Sorry, I'm doing this out of order, but whatever. I will say this matchup post board, I think you are most likely to just be on a green creature attacking deck. It's pretty hard to combo through their counters and their removal. So you really are just using your Yawg and your Grist to gain little small pieces of card advantage while you are beating down with your, Tarmogoyfs. And then obviously they have to respect the combo, meaning they have to keep counter spells, keep removal, and you just kind of don't ever combo, and then they're stuck killing your dumb green creatures or killing your Yawgs and Grists. So usually if they don't get ahead, that's how we're gonna win. 3 red, is this a hardcast Fury? Yeah. Okay. I have a second Yawg, I have a Grist, like, don't really care. had Unholy Heat, he would kill my Grist, so it doesn't really matter. So if I draw a creature here, let's see, is there any way I double Grist? Where I plus this Grist, play a new Grist? I actually think that's the play. Kill this, tap for 3, yeah. Yeah. Keep the Grist to keep. I didn't realize how slow talking makes me play. That's very interesting. I'm usually a slow player anyways. Okay, so he's gonna have Murktide. Let's see here. I need to draw a creature to go along with my Grist, or something to sacrifice. Even a Verdant Catacombs or a fetch land would be good for the Dryad Arbor. Let's see, do I draw here? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I do draw, because the Grist is more important than the Murktide, or than the Yawgmoth right now. Yeah, I'm gonna draw a card. Ooze. Okay. Of course. He also has the Brazen Borrower. This could be bad for the second Murktide. I was planning on just playing the Geist and attacking. Frozen can't block, so he has to have a removal spell. So I'm super down on the clock right now. I do have Veil. Ugh, Veil doesn't do anything against Dress Down, so it doesn't get haste. Makes it so his Brazen can block. That's very cute, my friend. Very cute. Puts me to 1. I think I play a bird. It's gonna sound kind of embarrassing, but I don't know how to check what game of the match it's on. Are we in? I honestly can't remember if we're in game 3 or not. But you know, I'm not finishing a 3rd game if this is game 2. If someone in the comments could let me know how to check, that would be appreciated. So I guess the lesson from this is that I need to play faster and or talk less. I'm not expecting you to win in 3 minutes, but we can at least play the game out and can learn some stuff. This is a mulligan, this is super
especially him on the play. We didn't see Ragavan, that's important to note. This is fine. Put it back. Sure, whatever. Maybe we don't put the land back there because we know he's going to kill the bird and we just need to develop our mana. Again, I'm not winning this game because of time, but, you know, if we have time. Alright, that gets a counter spell. It's interesting. But, you know, my top decks aren't even good because I don't even have the third lane for Grist, so. Okay, so again, what I learned is I need to play faster as I'm talking. Like I was saying earlier, I'm already kind of a slower player. Yeah, he's gonna beat me down, cool. Kind of a slower player, so just adding the talking, and obviously, you know, I'm a Yawg enthusiast, so I like talking about the deck. So I think I get sidetracked. Third lane's good for the endurance. I'm blocking the borrower and takes him off of Unholy Heat and Murktide. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe we like win this. He's gonna bolt. It's fine. I'll try. Oof, that's a good draw. You know, I don't know if he has counterspell or not. He like tapped out of counterspell. Okay, no, he has. Of course he has it. Why would they not have counterspell? I'm playing this out just to see at the end of the time to see where if we were even in a spot to win the game. He's cast, yeah. So. Ragavan, yeah. So maybe they I think they just have to leave it Ragavan because they only have 11 creatures. They just need threats. I think I get wall roots with this, or Dryad Arbor. Heat. Ah, I wasn't supposed to F6 there, I was supposed to get Dryad Arbor. That's a bummer. So, you know, maybe I could have won in that short amount of time if I, you know, played with a bit more confidence of being able to win in that short amount of time. Maybe this would have gone differently. If I would have gotten that Dryad Arbor, it would be different too. I'm staring down a Murktide, obviously. So. Yeah, I mean, I still have 2 minutes on the clock. Alright, I'm gonna pack it up. GG. So, what I learned there is I gotta play faster. Alright. Alright, back for round 2. Unfortunately, we lost on going to time. So that means I gotta play faster. I think this hand's fine. Kinda weird. It's fine. The draw Geralf's Messenger means I have to shock this Overgrown Tomb first, and then get Swamp. This is the reason a lot of people, or you know, the deck originally, pre-MH2, played 4 Messengers. Now with MH2 cards out, you just play 1 as a tutor target, but this is why this card is bad. It's just, the mana is rough. It comes in tapped, which is actually very, very relevant for like turns you're trying to combo kill with Chord. Whereas the other Undyers, they untap. You can tap them for Chord, sack them, and then they untap. So that's another reason Messenger is not the greatest. Xander's Lounge is this like Calibrated Blast. You don't see this card very much. Just gonna get a clock into play. I mean, if this is Calibrated Blast, there's some argument for getting the walls into play to Chord faster. So, right, this is the Grixis. Is this like creativity? I'm lost here. So if it is Calibrated Blasts, we're already under, or no, it's 15, right, they can do. So, Wallroot Storm deck. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can chord for 5 right now, or I can wait to chord for 7. Yeah, this looks like Blast, right? Okay, not Blast. This is Creativity. This is actually a good start for me, given that, you know, their opening is pretty slow. I think I just get Yawgmoth here. I can even, with an Undire, I can even just kill them. And shrinking the Shaman's good also. Let's see, do I get Dryad Arbor? Yes. Extra cards to draw. I guess technically you can even kill with 1, 2, 3. You need 7 creatures in play to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to start drawing because we already have a Messenger in play, and because I'm at a higher life total, an Undire just like automatically kills them. There you go. Easy peasy. Now, let me set up my stops and then I'll talk about if we didn't draw the Undire, what we're doing. It's a good way to analyze combo decks. Is, you know, if you didn't draw the combo piece, what would we have done? So if we didn't draw the combo piece, I think I'm just sacking, floating mana as much as I can, and then sacking my creatures to reset the Geralf's Messenger. Like, that is draining them, and then it, you know, it just gives me, it doubles my draws to hit an Undire, because any Undire wins me the game. I don't remember what my mana looked like, so I don't remember if Chord won me the game or not. But yeah, so if I didn't draw that Undire, I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna sack my board till I do. I mean, I have 8 other Undires in the deck and tutors. Okay, so creativity is usually difficult. We don't have Necromentia, which could be bad. I'm gonna bring in Thoughtseize. He looked like the Grixis version. I don't know if they bring in discard. He could also have Persist. That's a thing I've seen. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out the Ooze. Bring in the second Endurance in case he has Persist. If not, Endurance is just a fine card. Like what? They could have Black Leyline. Should I go look at a list? I'm gonna go look at a list. Arcana Cruelty, right? Is this it? Okay, so this looks like a more rug version. Or sorry, a green version. So this guy has 1 Persist. Okay, so what? Does it look like they're all green? my time? 1 minute. Let's see. Do they have another creature in the sideboard? Okay, so yeah. Originally, I was looking to see if they have Leyline, which this list does. Let me see. So MTGO Goldfish has this cool thing where it tells you the percentage of decks that have a certain card. So I really like this. So look, 7 Leylines in 33% of the decks. So while this list has Leyline, not that many do. Again, this is all just, you know, theory crafting, so I have no idea what this guy's list is going to be. But I will say Moto players tend to net deck like a first place deck. So I'm going to put them on Leyline, which means I'm going to bring in my 1 Outland Liberator. How do I board against Creativity? Let me think. They're also kind of just like a mid-range deck. Go away, Call of Duty. No. Looking for the soft permission right now. So 2 Spell Pierce. Okay. Board one of these out. I'm gonna board out a wall. Board out. Chord. I'm not 100% sure about that. I had to go kind of quick. This hand's fine. It's not. Yeah, this hand's good. I'll keep it. So when we're playing against other combo decks, you know, we can either have our sideboard cards or we can just have a quick combo. Now, Creativity, sure they're on the play, sure they can technically get an Archon into play on turn 4, but our deck is actually not just like super soft to Archon. Usually the first Archon, even the second one, we can usually win. Just because like sacking a creature is usually not the biggest deal. I'm gonna develop my board. I'm gonna play out the bird instead of a turn 1 Thoughtseize. Again, their combo comes down on turn 4. I'll save my Thoughtseize for a little bit later. Yeah. So a lot of the play patterns I've seen in this matchup is they Archon you. You can then tutor for Grist, kill the Archon. Like sure they go up a card, or you know, a couple cards, whatever. You discard a card, whatever. But you know, our deck's very resilient to the sacking. And then a lot of times we just discard a random card that, you know, doesn't combo kill them the next turn. So it's interesting, I didn't see green mana, so they could just be straight Grixis. All these lists online look like they have green for Ren. Obviously Ren's good against us. I don't need to talk about that. But also, not having green means they don't have Explore, so they're just slower. I think my next turn is just going to be Geist Thoughtseize, probably. I mean, yeah, Ren's gonna be good here. Okay, so I'm pretty sure they don't have green. What's he doing? Fire Eyes? What? Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so he's kind of time walking my bird, so that means I have 2 mana. I can either play my Geist or I can just Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize doesn't use my mana. Again, their threat comes down on turn 4. I could Thoughtseize away a Kiki Jiki enchantment. Let's see here. I think I just get the Geist into play. Like, Kiki Jiki enchantment's not that good. I can Evo into a Yawg next turn. Oh, yeah, I'm dumb. That's still fine. I just want to get the Undyre in play for Yawg next turn. He's gonna tap out for Fable. That lets me Evo for Yawgmoth, even with a Thoughtseize. Ooh, tapped. Okay, so he could have Spell Pierce, so I'm definitely gonna Thoughtseize first. Tainted Indulgence, okay. Okay, puts the Archon in the yard. Let's see what he has. Okay. So, with this, I think I take the, let's see here.
I think I take the creativity and then main phase Evo for endurance, right? That shuts off all his persists. He doesn't have a combo piece. He's literally just left with Prismari Command and Mesa. That seems pretty darn good on our part. Okay. Right? Yeah. Okay, so take creativity. Let's see. One, 2, 3 mana. I guess I want to attack after the Evo. This gets endurance. Cool persists. Neat. Okay, and then we combo, or sorry, we attack. A lot of times when post-board, when we have these disruptive elements, just attacking is just like, it's just faster than assembling the combo. I mean, okay, did he draw a thing? Ah, come on, man. Alright, so this is one of those situations where I think we can just beat this thing. Let's see, sack a creature. I will sack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This lets me chord for Grist next turn. 1, 2. If I sack this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This lets me chord for Grist. So yeah, sack the bird, discard the noble. Like, yeah, I'm losing a lot of resources right here, but he also has, like, nothing in his hand after this, right? I think the Geist is actually better as a Undire later on. Let me think. This doesn't die to removal. Oh, he has the command, so yeah, I'm gonna actually, if he commands, he would just kill that anyway. Let's see. I'm stupid. I'm so stupid. Just persist, a stupid Archon. Jeez. I mean, I can't really do anything about that, right? Alright, let's go to the next game. have like super strong sideboard cards in this matchup, so like I feel like mulling to what a Thought Seize is like, I don't know, not that big of a deal. I'd be totally wrong. I'd just be bad at this matchup. But again, I'm not playing Necro, so that does kind of change my matchup dynamics. And that's fine. I, consciously made the decision to not play Necromantia, so. And I think this version is where it's actually best. I'm pretty sure they don't play another creature. Like, they don't play anything in the sideboard, the straight Grixis version, because they're also playing Persist. They just kind of try to, either Persist or Creativity. So I think Necro's actually the best in this one against this version, but, what can you do? I don't have it. Okay, are we jamming Yawg? I think we're just jamming Yawgmoth. Or I could get another one and jam Yawgmoth next turn, but he's tapped out. I'm gonna jam Yawg. Let's also let's attack through the crab. Please tap out for Fable. Please tap out for Fable. Let's do it. Okay. Interesting. Make a... No, draw 2, dis 2. Okay. Oh, dude, I'm so bad at Moto. So I just let that happen. So here's a tip for Moto. So, I hotkeyed, OK and pass priority onto my mouse. It lets me play faster, blah, blah, blah. I think it's actually doing more bad than good, as it makes me play too fast, and I just automatically click these buttons. So, tip for playing Moto. Don't, give up free sacks. So this gets me Chord for Yawgmoth. See, this is where if I kill the crab when he goes off, or no, like he's gonna target the token. That's just one Archon. I'm pretty sure I just win through one Archon here, so I'm gonna play this. 1, 2, 3, 4. This Chords for Yawgmoth. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna pass the turn. So I can just draw a bunch of cards, sack random things, and then probably kill on the following turn if he even Archons. He was he discarded 2, so maybe he has the Persist. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think the an argument to talk about in this is whether Necro's good. Like I said, I think it's best against this version where they don't really have that many other win cons. The green version, they can just rend you out of the game. They usually bring in another creature other than Archon. They also have Transmorgify or whatever it's called. So even just Necroing Creativity is not always the greatest. Okay, so Archon's coming in. I am going to chord for a 1/1 Undire. Draw a few cards so I can discard something, and then I'll probably sack this Hierarch. So we'll let it come into play. He could have a Spell Pierce, which would suck. Okay, that's good. No Spell Pierce. Alright, I'm gonna draw a few cards. Discard a land, sacrifice the. I'll put this over. Get an extra card, I think. Sometimes I don't even know, guys. I'm just bad at Magic. So yeah, let this resolve. Sack Wolf, discard a freaking forest. Spell, artist. Oh no. Okay. Alright. 1 match 2 against Creativity. Alright. Game 3, we're 1-1. Our loss to Murktide was to time. That's on my, that's me being slow. Okay, we're on the draw. I don't. Let's see. Yeah, I don't. I think this is a mulligan. Being on the draw, having wall as your ramp spell is not the greatest. Like, yeah, I think this is a mulligan. Right, he goes turn 2 wall, turn 3, like, I don't know. I'd mull this. Wasn't bad. Okay. Alright. This is fine. Looking back, I think I'd rather have that 7, but whatever. Okay, this looks like hammer. I think it'll also just kill us. Game 1. Last league, I 0-2'd against Hammer, so let's see if I can make it up. Us know if he has Cauldra or not. Generally, Cauldra is the best threat against Yawgmoth, so if he has it game 1, he should get it. Okay, so that tells me he doesn't have it game 1. That doesn't tell me if he has it in his sideboard or not. Maybe I should look at some lists and see if they don't play at main, if they play at side. I actually honestly don't know. not gonna save a Boseiju. He lands. I could have just played the 2/1 drops also. There's an argument for that. But I mean, getting 2 Grist tokens out is this also counts as 2 Chord mana, so we'll see, we'll see. Is this just the thing? So the thing about Hammer is they can just kill you, right? Nothing you can do about it. Make them do it, make them click the buttons. And we'll pack it up. So at least we, our mold of 5 was wasted on this good hand on theirs. Okay, so let's see, what do we do for Hammer? It's this Decay, it's this Crime Punishment, 2 forces. Liberator. Some people bring in the Magus. Some people bring in Thoughtseize for Cauldron. So these are the for sure's. So it's for sure 5 cards. So let's start taking stuff out. I think what we were doing, it was Ooze, Endurance. I would like to cut a wall. I think I cut 1 or 2 Grists. I remember the chords being really bad. They were just too slow. Okay, so that's 5 cards, so let me grab these 5, and then Magus and Thoughtseize, do I want them? You know, I still haven't seen the Cauldron, and being on the play against Cauldron is way better on the draw, so I'm going to leave it at this, I think. I lose the game for having 10 or more poison counters. While we're waiting, I'm gonna go look at some lists to see if they play the Cauldron on the sideboard, or what the lists are looking like these days. Order pod, jeez. So it's looking like the mono whites don't play it. Ramp, we have Evo with a Wall of Roots to get Yawg, and we have a Force. They keep. Probably pitching an extra Wall of Roots when needed. Now, there's kind of 2 theories to these forces. Is, you know, if they just go like, you know, if they went like turn 1 Saga Drum, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna force it. But okay, so him having Giver, that's different. It's interesting whether you save the forces for later in the game when they're, you know, putting their hammers on stuff, or do you just, you know, slow them down, kill a, you know, drum and something else. I think against their deck, you do want to save the forces for the bigger spells. Oh, fuck. I was supposed to keep that. Whatever. It's fine. Guys, talking about your games and playing is very hard. I will say that. That is something I learned. Am learning. Okay, if he gets Cauldron, we're going to Evo into our Yawgmoth and try to do that plan. I guess he has the Giver up. Like, this Force isn't really doing much. I obviously want the Evolution.
So I'm gonna untap, see what I draw. I want the dying creature. Ooh, okay, let's see here. I actually don't think that does much. Can't just turn off the Saga. I don't want to draw some cards. Don't know. Let's see here. Let me think. I'm trying to think of how to sequence this with a Giver to kill the Stoneforge, so he can't even put the Cauldron into play. I feel like if I put one counter on the Stoneforge, he's gonna Giver it, right? Because of persist or proliferate. So let's see here. But he's gonna give the Cauldron Pro anyways. Okay, let's see. Put a counter there, he pros it. Maybe I just put a counter here, see what he does. YOLO. I don't know. It's a very good draw. Very, very good draw. Okay, so if I do that, he's gonna respond, pro black it. If I put a counter there first, he'll respond to that. It's the same. Still have to sack 2 things. Okay. I feel like if I can clear his board and then kill the Urza Saga, we're chilling. Well, now I'm not gonna have. I can upkeep it, drawing a green card. It's a bummer we don't get to kill the Saga. I think that's fine though. Next turn I can just hardcast the forest, kill the token in the Saga when he makes a guy. If he makes a guy. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna kill his Saga and Sarah his aid. I think I'm just gonna do it on my main phase. Probably get spell pierced, or maybe get spell pierced. Blacksmith skill gives hexproof. Can give lands hexproof. I'm gonna channel actually. Play around the spell pierce. I don't know. Okay, like having the Yawg in play with the aid is fine because I can always just respawn and kill the little guy that they put it on. So the aid's not super threatening here. Also, they don't even have any creatures for the aid. Let me play around the pierce, and then it got me. It's gonna get me this Blood Artisan play, which isn't that relevant, but it is a creature. Alright. So Snare Down Hammer, when they have no board, is usually where we want to be. I am low on things to sacrifice. Okay, he's drawing, that's good. Remember, one of these cards is Cauldra, so it seems like he has a lot of cards, but one of them was off the Stoneforge Mystic. Neat. Okay, we get rewarded for not killing the aid with our force. And yeah, I'm just gonna attack. We have Hardcast Force to kill both aids, but I think it's better to just save it for things that actually threaten us. This is probably gonna get Dryad Arbor to start drawing more cards. Yeah. Okay, so while they can just kill us, like game 1, they can also just kind of peter out. I'm gonna just ship it back. I think I like this plan. Oh, the Thought Seizes, so they do have Cauldron, get that. So yeah, I'll bring in 2 Thought Seizes. Again, we're kind of experimenting with the Thought Seizes with Cauldra. We were able to beat it there, but again, being on the play is definitely very relevant against Stoneforge Mystic. Now we're on the draw, so we might just have to rely on Thought Seize to get the Cauldra. I think being on the draw, let's see. These chords have just never been good. They're just very slow. Oh, I can cut a creature, an undying creature. I'm gonna cut a Strangleroot Geist. No, I'm gonna cut a bird, or a wolf. Oh, like that. I think I like that. Sure. Is this fast enough? I don't think so. Being on the draw, just a turn 4 Yawgmoth, but if I draw a ramp spell in my first couple draws, that helps get the Yawg out. I think I have better hands than this. I mean, I have a lot of sideboard hate. I have my 8 dorks in. Of course, you know, the Thought Seizes come in pairs. Jeez, sure. I'm gonna put a Thought Seize back, I think. It could also actually be, it could actually just be Messenger back. He's not really doing much. Yeah, we'll do that. Turn 1 Thought Seize, turn 2 Thought Seize Wolf. Become the Jund deck. Okay, hopefully I get a Nav of Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, so Giver. So I'm taking Giver because that lets them activate the Springleaf Drum. Yeah, their hand's weird. Is this 7 hand cards? This is their 7 card, okay. Yeah, so I'm taking the Giver. I'm just thinking about my second Thought Seize, but I can make that decision when we get there. Yeah, definitely taking the Giver. Interesting. This is going to be an interesting game. Obviously good for them. I go. I mean, I definitely go Thoughtseize. I think take the March. Thoughtseize, take the March. So my wolf is in play for the Chord and the Yawg later on. Yeah. Hammer does let him draw, so I'm actually thinking about taking that too. So the March lets my young wolf live, but if I take the Hammer, he just main phase like kills my wolf, which is like cool story, dude. Interesting. Actually, I think I take the Hammer because it lets him draw, right? This always lets him draw. Yeah, and it's one more towards Metalcraft. Yeah, I'm gonna take Hammer. My young wolf's gonna die. Whatever. This Urborg actually doesn't let me Chord for Dryad Arbor, which kind of blows. Assuming he kills my wolf on this next turn. Or exiles my wolf. Okay, he drew a land, so we know his 2 cards. That's fine. Alright. Kind of in a spot where drawing anything is fine for our deck. We just need the turns to go through to start getting things on the board. Paladin attacks. Okay, I'll take that. Let's see, is there any reason to shock this? So if I go shock 1, 2, 3, we can't get the Dryad Arbor, but we can just play the Yawgmoth anyway, so I think we just save the Chord. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Save the Chord. This wall blocks the Paladin pretty well. How does this work? Can he pump it to kill the wall if I block? If it's an artifact creature, it gets +2/2, so no. Tap this mana pretty fast. Stoneforge. Okay, we can beat a second Paladin. That is good for us. It's very good for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just put my Yawgmoth into play. Let's see, can I 1, 2 play wall? No, I need the land to do that. Yeah. You know, Priester Paladin is happens to be a knight. Or, sorry, a human knight. So Yawg does a pretty good job blocking there. We need this guy to brick for one more turn to get going. But even if, like, I mean, I'm not really scared of anything he draws. His best draw is, like, chain hammers. Drawing a hammer, playing a hammer, drawing 2 cards, which is what he's doing. Stoneforge for hammer, draw 2 cards, like that could be pretty good. That still actually doesn't give him the 3rd artifact, he'd have to draw a 3rd artifact. What? Each opponent can't cast non-creature spells with mana value. What the hell is this? Yeah, I know they play this, but I didn't think they'd bring it in against me. Okay, so that makes it so I can't Chord, that's fine. Alright, let me see, does it do anything else? So I can only Chord for 3, right? Can't cast non-creature spells with mana value greater than the number of lands that player controls. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent, counter it. So that's not relevant. So I can only Chord for 3. Is this a human? Ha, it's a human.
like to draw a land, which lets me chord for one more to get a Yawgmoth. Now, he has Saga, that is a force target. He has Blacksmith skill. Do I just main phase below it? I don't think so. I would like to draw a land. Let's see here. Okay, that's good. So now I can chord for one. Yeah, that's pretty good. Right, so I can chord for one, yeah. I'm just making sure this doesn't, like, mess me up. Now I gotta start doing stuff. Let's see. What's the most important thing to kill? I mean, this has to be a hardcast force unless I kill Lavinia. He has the blacksmith skill to give these things hexproof, which he'll definitely do on the Saga, because that's kind of his only way to win right now. I played the lands, so I think I do at least want to start drawing some cards. The double paladin, well, I guess that draws 2 cards when the enchantment comes in. See, I think killing the paladins are actually most relevant. I can also put 1 on everything, then pro, or proliferate. Okay, so that does get us another Undying creature, however, doesn't really... It can't get us a win because we can't chord. Let's see, but we can kill Lavinia, I guess. Messenger in my deck? I don't remember. It is. I do want to draw a creature so I don't have to stack this wall, because this wall is going to go with the Evo later on. Drawing another creature here, especially an Undying creature, is obviously very good. Okay, I think he's going to give it pro. I might respond... No, I literally don't care about this Lavinia. So let's see here. So I'm gonna let it happen, and then I'm gonna force his artifacts, because those are the things I actually care about. I don't care about this thing. So yeah, that's fine. That whiffs. I hardcast this force. I do actually need to start attacking to end the game. Well, I guess this Evo gets me another Undying creature. Okay, he scoops. Okay. Alright, so we avenged ourselves. We won against Hammer after losing to it twice last round. So, yeah. Alright. I don't know. I think that guy, I don't think he's supposed to board in that Lavinia card against me. It doesn't seem too good.